Mahal from BTLED 37B. And for tonight's discussion, we will discuss the printing techniques. So, a printing techniques is very widely in process, quality, cost, and also suitable applications. So today we will discuss detailed explanations of each common methods of printing techniques. So the first one is the offset printing. The second one is the flexography printing. The third one is the letterpress printing, and the last one is 3D printing. So let's start with the offset printing.
Offset printing. Offset printing is a printing technique where the ink image is transferred or offset from a plate to a rubber blanket, then to a paper. Advantages: high image quality and sharp details. Cost efficient for large volume printing. Consistent and accurate color production.
Techniques wherein ang ink image is first transferred, muna siyang gitawag og offset, kaya na-transferred siya sa other nga from a metal plate to a rubber blanket, and then imo siya i-press onto the paper or material para ang iyang image will never goes directly from the plate to the paper. And then ang naka-advantage ani niya is that is high image quality and sharp details. So para makaproduce siya sharp o clean nga image, and also ang iyang color gani kay consistent. And then so muna siyang nagkuan siya high image quality and sharp details. And then ang second advantage niya is cost efficient for large volume printing, which is very economical siya, and then when printing a large quantities because the unit cost drops significantly as volumes increases. Then the next one is, or the last one advantages is a consistent and accurate color reproduction. So which means ang iyang trabaho kay kanang or the works well on meaning iyang work kay nindot iyang pagtrabaho sa mga lain-lain nga mga types of paper and then sa materials. And then ang kung naman siya advantages ang offset printing, nasa siya disadvantages. So ang naka-disadvantage niya kay dili siya ideal for small quantities, which means expensive because it is very expensive and inefficient for small print jobs due to setup exists or the cost. And then longer setup time. So kuan siya taas very the preparing ang pag-prepare sa plates is very time na siya mas long iyang time paper and materials. So if we have advantages sa offset printing, we do also disadvantages. So ang first disadvantages niya is not ideal for small quantities, which means expensive siya and also inefficient for small print job tungod sa iyang setup nga kanang cost kay iyang setup or costly. So ang iyang also naka-disadvantage niya is ang iyang longer setup time, which means ang pag-prepare sa plates and sa machines mo takes time siya, meaning it is not ideal for a quick turnaround project. So time costly kay siya, murag taas kay siya kanang time imong makakuan kumukuan ka ani nga techniques or the printing techniques ang kaning offset printing. So the last one is dapat require siya og skilled operators. So ang kung magkuan kag offset printing, so dapat ang imuha mga operators ana is nag-undergo siya training para makibaw sila og unsaon pag-adjust sa colors and also sa iyahang machinery correctly. And then kani siya nga method, it is used in the standard for kani siya nga method is a standard for mass productions, which means it is commonly used for brochures, magazine, newspapers, and also catalogs.
Flexography printing. Definition: uses flexible plates for fast printing on various materials. Advantages: fast, works on plastics in packaging. Disadvantage: lower quality versus offset and plate cost. Uses: food packaging, labels, and plastic bags.
Or often to be called as flexo. So mo ni siya ang modern printing methods that uses flexible rubber or photopolymer plates. So kani siya nga plates is wrapped by cylinder, allowing it to print a long roll of materials continuously. So naa siya disadvantages or disadvantages and the advantages. So ang first advantages niya is fast, works on plastics and packaging. So ang flexography is for packaging siya. So it is a very fast printing process, making it So it is a very fast printing process, making it perfect for high volume productions. So it can also print on almost any type of material, including newspapers, surfaces like plastics, metal cellophanes, and also the cardboard. So ang iyang gamit ani is fast iyang pag-dry sa iyang ink, and also suitable siya for packaging. So nasa tayo disadvantage niya. Ang naka-disadvantage niya is that lower quality versus offset plate cost. So ang iyang when you say lower quality, because the print quality is very generally not as sharp or detailed as offset printing. While kumukuan ka ang offset printing manggod kay kanang create siya flexible, nag-create siya ang kaning flexo is nag-creating siya flexible plates that can be expensive initially. So ang iyang common use, so it is the dominant technique for packaging, like for example katong niya sa pang food packaging, pang labels, pang wrappers and plastic bags. So ang flexography di ay mo din siya good for packaging.
Letterpress printing. Letterpress is a traditional printing method where raised metal or polymer plates are inked and pressed directly onto the surface. Advantages: creates a unique tactile debossed effect, high quality and elegant finish, excellent for specialty printing.
Surface. So letterpress printing dye, it is one of the oldest traditional printing methods that it works like a stamped raised metal or polymer plates are ink and then pressed directly onto the surface of the paper. So this direct pressures often leaves a slight indentation or textures on the paper. So in letterpress printing, we have disadvantage and the advantages. So let's start with the advantages. So first advantages niya is creates a unique tactile debossed effect. So it creates a distinct tactile and elegant look that cannot be replicated by a modern or digital methods. And then the second is high quality and elegant finish. So ang kanina it's really known for crisp type and deep ink coverage. And then ang excellent for specialty printing. So it is really highly valued for luxury or art. And then next we will tackle the disadvantage of letterpress printing. So first disadvantage of letterpress is slow productions. The second one is costly for large scale jobs, and then the last one is limited color flexibility. So when we say slow production, it is much slower and more later intensive than modern methods. So next is when we say also costly for large scale jobs, which means due to manual setup, tungod sa manual siya nga pagka-setup, ang iyang speed is very slower because it is very expensive compared to other techniques. And then the next disadvantage is limited color flexibility. So dili siya pang ideal for every complex photograph or fine gradations of color because moto siya kanang manual siya, and then pwede rin mo siya ma-adjust rin mo ang color, but it's very expensive mo nang kanang kaysa sa modern nga methods nga kuan. And then commonly used, so it is primary for commonly used, so it is used letterpress printing, it is used primarily for specialty printing such as wedding invitation, pang business card, stationary art prints, and also the high-end book publishing kung asa ang textures and styles are very important. So kung ang offset printing is pang metal, from metal to the paper, so ang kuan sa di ay ang unsa to next? Ang next atong is flexography. Kung ang flexography is pang packaging, ang kani siyang letterpress printing, it is for wedding invitation, mga cards, business cards, mga ina mga etc. 3D printing is an additive manufacturing process where objectives are created layer by layer using digital models. So ang 3D printing it is also known as additive manufacturing. It is very different from the other because it is not 2D printing on paper. So it creates physical 3-dimensional objects by building them layer by layer from digital designs using materials like plastics, resins, or metals. So kung ang offset printing, letterpress printing, flexography printing na siya advantages and disadvantages, also the 3D printing nasa siya advantages and disadvantages. Ang first advantages niya is can create complex shapes that traditional methods cannot. So pwede maka-create siya shapes and structures that are impossible to make with traditional manufacturings, and also customizable designs, which means nag-allow siya for fast productions of prototypes or single items. And then the last one is minimal waste, which means every item can be different without extra cost. And then kung nasa advantages, syempre nasa disadvantages. So ang naka-disadvantage ani niya is slower production speed, which means it is great for one-off items, but it is very slow and expensive para sa mga mass productions compared sa molding or casting. And then limited to specific materials. Yes, limited selection siya of materials compared sa traditional manufacturing. And then the last one is machines and materials can be expensive. So parts may be less strong or durable than those made with injections, molding, or machinery. So ang iyang common use ani, it is used in production designs, engineering, architecture, medical modeling, jewelry making, and also educational purposes. Mo na siya ang common uses sa 3D printing.
So in conclusion, these printing techniques each play an important role in the printing industry. So ang offset printing, it is best for mass printing. Flexography or the flexo is for the packaging. The letterpress is for artistic designs, and the 3D printing is for manufacturing and prototyping. So understanding their strengths and also the limitation, it helps us choose the right methods for every printing needs. So that's all for my discussions about printing techniques. Thank you, everyone.
I just had to let you know you're